Morphin time! Back to action!
All right, what is going on, guys? And today's video, we're going to be reviewing and unboxing the Power Squad. Now, these are from a third company, Toys Battalion, and these are going to be the 1/12 scale action figures from the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Now, this is the 6-pack. We got all the Rangers in this box. It is finally in the building, and I'm super excited for these, especially because I do have a specific diorama for the 1995 Power Rangers movie. Now we're going to be also doing a quick comparison with some Lightning Collection and some Super 7 figures. And I do have also a Legacy figure there, and we'll see how do they scale with these figures. They're supposed to be 6 inches, but they're pretty taller, close to around, I would say, 7 inches. But like I said, we'll see how they are next to the other figures. All right, so here we have the box, and as you can see here, we have all the Rangers. It's like a nice glossy matte box there. Pretty cool. Power Squad 1/12 scale action figures, and on the sides we have all of their coins. So here we have the bear, the frog, and the ape. And then on the other side you have Power Squad. And then here we have the falcon, the wolf, and the crane. Nice chrome coins there. That's pretty cool. And on the other side we got the same Power Squad there, as you can see. And then in the back we do have the morpher, and in the center we just have some informations and warning conditions and all that stuff. Pretty straightforward with these box. So let's just jump right into the figures. Now, obviously, I already took a look at these before I started filming this video, and just to see, make sure everything is there. So here we're going to be greeted with the male figures. We have Red Ranger, Black Ranger, and Blue Ranger. These do come with a plastic on their arms and their helmets, but I took them off. So here, as you can see, I want to make sure they don't fall off. But here we have red, black, and blue. Pretty nice. And then on the other batch we have white, pink, and yellow. They look pretty good, to be honest, but we shall see once we get in depth with them. I know there's been a few people that have been having some issues with the pads on the shoulders, like them coming off and stuff like that, but we'll see how mines are. And then last but not least, in this package we have all their accessories. So as you can see there, we have the Thunder Whip, all their, I guess they were called blade blasters, and their holsters, hand gestures as well. That's pretty cool. And we don't get, for some reason, we don't get Billy's Stega Stinger, but we do get the Power Whip for Kimberly. All right, so I'll put that to the side for the moment. All right, so before we get into the figures, I'm gonna just quickly go over some of the accessories. Here we have Saba, Tommy's sword, pretty nice. So the only thing I like about this is like it has the details, it's just the paints are wrong. It's supposed to be silver on the top, which that's something that I may fix later on down the road. But it still has the nice details on Saba, just like the 1/6 scale version. And I actually did paint it myself, and it came out pretty good. So that's Tommy's sword. And here we have the Thunder Whip for Kimberly. Nice and small. Pretty cool. And it's also nice that we do have this for the 1/6 scale from the Ninjetti 1/6 scale figure as well. And at the end of the video, I'll show you a quick clip of my setup of the 1/6 scale, so like that you guys can see quickly, obviously, the huge height difference. But all right, so, and then we have the holsters, and I'm gonna just show you one of them because they're all the same. This is Rocky's holster with his I guess his blade blaster. There we go. Nice details, and they're all the same, just different color, obviously. So that's pretty cool. They look very similar to the 1/6 scale versions. But yeah, and then it goes like that. And this does feel like a hard plastic as well. Pretty hard there. The 1/6 scale do have some kind of a Velcro on the side here to close them while you're putting this in. But this, I think they should have gone this way instead of the Velcro because you can see it on the 1/6 scale. But this is really nice. And the material of the other version of the 1/6 scales, they're like a pleather material. So just some minor difference there. All right. So let's start with the figures. Let's see how they look. Details. We'll start with Tommy Oliver. Now I do have, I did set the hand here to hold Saba. So you guys see that. They all come with their fist. So here is the White Ranger. Now I like all the details on this figure. Like I think just like the paint could have been a little bit better, more accurate to the movie. But I'm not upset in how it looks. Like it looks beautiful, super shiny. The whole suit is like a glossy white, and then his armor parts on his arms and his legs they're like a pearl color, as you can see the difference there. Details pretty much all over. The sewings are good on the White Ranger. I know there are some other ones that are not the best, but we'll take a deep dive into that. But yeah, and then here, as you can see, the mouthpiece there is white, and that's supposed to be silver. So I'm probably gonna be touching up these guys because I want them to look as screen accurate as possible. You know what I'm saying? Let me see here. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for now. And then we have the Falcon coin in the morpher there, which is correct. Also here on the shield. Pretty nice. Love this. All right, now there is issues, and I'll do articulations towards the end. I just want to show you guys real quick all the figures. Articulations are not great with these. I'm sure most of you guys know. Here we have Kimberly. She's pretty tall, a little skinnier, but it looks right on her, on the girls. So here we have the crane on her chest piece there. Nice details there. I do like the helmet. It kind of goes well with her suits and the body. Here we have her morpher there. Nice details with the pink. Pretty cool. Only complaints that I have, something minor. The sewing here on the back, as you can see there, it's like not the best. Yeah, this just looks way off for the price. It's like they could have done something different with, I guess, the females. I'll check Aisha in a second, but yeah, you can see here it's a little bit off there. But other than that, the piece itself is amazing. And the other thing that I noticed is that with the 1/6 scales, when they did come in, they felt very kind of sticky. It looked like the paint wasn't super dry. But these figures, I mean, it's the same company, but these figures are not really sticky at all. Like I don't even see like fingerprints or anything like that, which is nice. I wish the other versions could have been exactly like that, but so you win some, you lose some. So that's Kimberly. Actually, let me quickly put her Thunder Whip. You guys can take a quick look at that. And another thing, be careful when you're swapping hands because the pegs are so tiny. So just be careful when you're changing the hands. So here we have Kimberly with her Thunder Whip. Now try to stay still, my friend, please. Okay. All right, on to Aisha. All right. So Aisha is a little taller than Kimberly. Not gonna lie. All right, so here we have the bear on her chest piece there. Pretty nice details on her morpher as well. Helmet looks very nice. like that. Now the back, let's see. So the back for Aisha's, it looks better than Kimberly's. Let me just quickly show you guys a little bit of the difference there. It's not huge, but you can see that in Kimberly's sewings are not the best, and then Aisha's is a little bit better. So, not the worst thing ever. So yeah, she is also taller than Kimberly for some reason. Just a little bit. So, no, I knew it. Yeah, that's the other thing with these figures. They're not super great at standing. Their feet, and I'll show you articulations towards the end. They're not the best, but I'm sure we can find a way to fix that without breaking the figure. So yeah, I think her legs are just too long for Aisha. Other than that, everything seems pretty okay. The part of the boots here are pretty loose, as you can see. That looks a little bit odd there. So we just put that down and it looks better. But she still has all this like open space there, as you can see there on both, which is a little bit odd. But if it would have been obviously tight on her legs there, it would have looked way better, because you don't want her legs to be thick as well, because you know the girls are tiny. Um, Other thing that I was thinking about is that I wish they had the extra helmets for Aisha and Rocky, like they had in the movie. That would have been cool, but that would have been me asking too much. All right, here we have Rocky. Here is Rocky. Now look at that beautiful red, super glossy details on his ape. Look at that, beautiful. And then the morpher there as well. Really nice. Armor looks amazing. Now I did hear, and I saw a couple of people with these figures, and some of their armors, like their shoulder pads here, were like coming off, which is unfortunate. You know, it sucks, but especially for paying so much for these figures, like you shouldn't have these problems, but it's not the end of the world. You can just use, I guess, crazy glue, just like a drop, and make sure it doesn't leak down, because then that would even be worse. But again, that's something that I would do, but I'm not forcing anybody to do that, because I don't want you guys to mess up your figures. But that's just one thing, unless there's something else that you can do, like a sticky putty or something like that. But here is Rocky. Nice glossy red. I love it. Love his suits. And we're going to move on to the next one. All right. And then towards the end of the rest of the figures, I'm going to be putting the holsters and their blasters in their holsters. I won't do them one by one. I'll just show you guys one so you can see how you put them in. And then we'll be good to go. So here is Adam. It looks okay. Looks a little bit bigger, but it's fine. The necks on some of these, I think is just Billy and Adam. They're a little bit long, and you can't push them down too much, but you can have them look kind of down, so you can kind of remove a little bit of the height. That's what I would do to pose them. But here we have the frog and the shield. Beautiful. Morpher looking nice. All the details there on the armor. See all the sewings there. Nice. Not really sticky. Just maybe, actually, you see those fingerprints there. Okay, I spoke too soon, but again, it's not the end of the world, so it's not bad. Pretty good. And some of these, like the helmet for Adam, it is not screen accurate. And I do have a video I'll put them down in the links of playlist of the 1/6 scales because I did change one of the helmets. That looks way better than the actual helmet that came with. It just looks skinny and it's not accurate. So, all right, we got one more. Let me just move this out the way and bring in Billy, the Blue Ranger. Let me just take this out. Now this blue is beautiful. Like, it's just, the color is amazing. Like, here he is. Here's the wolf, Billy. Nice. Look at that wolf. Look at the details on that. And the morpher. I love the morpher. Beautiful. They all pretty much have the same details on their boots, their gauntlets, pretty much everything. Very, very nice. All right, so now I am going to take, just to show you guys real quick, I'm going to take Rocky. And then we're going to change the, we're going to add the holster on. Put them down for a second. You're gonna grab the holster and you're just gonna make sure that the coin is correctly placed. Like the face is, you know, looking straight, not upside down. And some of these have at the end of this side here, the Velcro part, and not this side. But I'll show you that in a second. So just put that in like that. Just be extra careful. Because, you know, these figures, I think they're still fragile. They're fragile. And then on the back, you want to put the Velcro part down first, right? And then you want to put the end of the, make sure that the holsters like on the side are their hip. And then you want to slowly stretch, just slowly, to cover that part there. Okay, and just kind of move, make sure the holster's kind of on the side like that. And then there you have it. So if you guys notice, like his arms are really low and with his armor there, you could push it slowly down the armor and the arms kind of up. So you put your fingers up here where his armor's at and push his arms up, and then you can see that it goes up a little bit, just so it doesn't look that weird. And another thing that I noticed with these figures that I can't remember who it was. Maybe it was Adam. But I'll just show you with Billy. While I was putting the holsters on them, one of the morphers fell. Now here, I'm going to try to see if I can get super close, but there's two like little holes there, and then they just basically, you put them on there and they're supposed to stay. It looks like it has a little bit of glue there, but they're really fragile that one of them just came out, which is not the end of the world. Like, you can just put, use some crazy glue or some kind of sticky thing, and that's pretty much it. So that's what I observed when I was putting these on. So I'm going to put it on the rest of them, and then we'll be right back. All right, guys, so now I have all the Rangers here with their holsters and their blade blasters. And I just wanted to show you real quick with Kimberly. I want to change her hand. But look how small and tiny this peg is. Trying to see if we can get that close to that. But it's basically tiny for this tiny hand. So I chose a different grip hand for her Thunder Whip. Now this is going to take a little bit of time. But yeah, and the hole is tiny, as you can see there. So just got to go slowly. Oh boy. Nervous. And kind of jimmy it slowly there. So that worked pretty good. And then we're going to add in her Thunder Whip. Hopefully, I should have added the Thunder Whip first before I put that on, but if you jimmy it in there, it should go okay. All right, there we have it. There's Kimberly with her Thunder Whip. Look how beautiful this is. Like, I just can't. But anyways, oh my god, I just noticed. I totally forgot Adam's holster. All right, we'll do that real quick. And for Adam's holster, like I was mentioning before, the Velcro is on the right side. Some of them have them on the left. It's a bit weird, but you just basically do the same thing. Put that in there, just open his arm slowly. Make sure it's in a good spot there. Kind of a little bit below the stomach area. For some reason, like with the girls, you can't go too low, so it looks like the belt is in, like, on their stomach, if that makes sense. Sure. Yeah, these legs. I'll do articulations in a second. Let me just put his blade blaster in there. Perfect. All right, all done. All right, so we'll do quick articulations there. We'll do Rocky. Arms go out that much because the restriction, because the suits are pretty tight, so that's all we're gonna get. You can go up. You can bend the arm there. Hands do swirl, but they do come off a little bit easy, so because the peg is so small, unfortunately. That's for the arms. We have a small crunch in the center there. Helmet goes all the way around. And then the legs to open that much, because there's a lot of, it's not giving, and I don't want to break it. So legs go up barely. This is how much it goes up, unfortunately. The knees do bend. They may have a maybe double jointed. I don't want to go too much there. So I'm not going to be doing crazy poses. I mean, I wish these figures could, but they can't, unfortunately. But I'm just going to do some small standing, like arms up or something, posing them in my diorama. So we'll see how that looks towards the end. So that's articulations for the guys. They're all pretty much the same. Tommy may be more constricted because of his shield. And then the girls, I would say they're pretty much the same with the legs. You can't open them. Like, you see how tight that is there. Arms do go up. Legs go up that much. Not too much. And then the feet do move. Some of them are pretty tight, which is nice to pose them so they won't fall, and some of them are loose, which is not great because some of these do fall on their own, unfortunately. You just got to find the right pose. What I do is I just turn their feet a little bit outward like that, so it has more of a balance instead of just straight facing forward. So these are your rangers. Now I'm going to quickly bring in some different scales. So let's do Billy. Change it up a little bit. Just don't fall, my friend, please. Let's see. So we got Billy here, and then we have Legacy Zeo, Gold Zeo Ranger. Now these do scale pretty well. He is still a little bit taller. Let's see. What other ones we have? Let's see. Let's check it out. Let's bring a lightning collection. So this is the size that is technically meant to be, right? The 112. But here we have the Red Ranger and the Blue Ranger. So you can see how tall they are. So far it goes well with the Gold Zero Ranger. Now this is the Super 7 Ultimates Red Ranger. This one goes a bit better. Now that I think about it, I think that it's just the peg from the helmet. Like it's making it like pretty tall. Like it could have been a little bit lower, and then I think the Super 7 figures would have scaled pretty well. And maybe the Legacy one as well. Maybe. Eh. Now let's bring a villain from the Super 7. Now, I mean, they are a little bit always taller than the Rangers, but just a quick view. I'm going to bring in Goldar here from Super 7 Ultimates. Now, that is a proper, I think, maybe. Because, the monsters, I think they're always, just bigger and taller than the Rangers, but this doesn't look bad. What do you guys think? But yeah, I think the closest Rangers that can scale better are the Super 7 Ultimates, I think. Now you can see the neck on both of them there, how the Blue Ranger's neck is a little bit longer than that Red Ranger. So I think it would have been perfect. But yeah, I would scale these with these figures here. All right, so now for some final thoughts. So packaging was pretty nice, simple. I do like the front of the box and the coins on the sides, nice and shiny with the chrome, looks pretty nice. And the details are there. We're just missing just a little bit of paint here and there, which is something that like I said before, I'm gonna end up doing. So not that bad, except for Kimberly's sewing in the back. That's the only thing that I can see at the moment. Also, the figures are not as sticky as the 1/6 scale, which is a plus. And these pieces are amazing to display. Even if you display them like this, they still look badass. No complaints there on displaying. Again, you can't really do much articulations. The feet are so-so. Some of them are tight, some of them are loose, some of them do fall, unfortunately. And pricing, these are over 300 euro. So just depending on where you live, just take a look at it. I'll try to see if they do have them in stock. I got these at 1/6 kit. So I think toycollectibles do have them maybe. But like I said, I'll give it a check and see if they do have them in stock, and I'll put the link down below. I do wish, this is basically at this point nitpicking, that we did have the Stegostinger and the helmets for Aisha and Rocky and the Stegostinger for Billy, but it's not the end of the world. Fabric, it's so-so, it's okay, I would say. They do look and feel like leather, or whatever we call them, fake leather. But it's nice. Like I said, they look beautiful on display. No complaints in that part. Also, now with the girls, it sucks that they're not the same height. I wish Aisha's height was Kimberly's height. Like that, it would just look very nice and flush, as you can see there. She's just a little bit taller. I'll try to put her helmet down just a little bit and see if that works. But so do I recommend these figures? I do, only if you're not planning on doing crazy articulations and you just want to display them on your shelf, or if you have a diorama, because they just look beautiful. Like, just stare at them for hours. No, I don't recommend if you're thinking that you can do crazy articulations and get away with not breaking something. Like, something will unfortunately stretch and break, and the sewings are definitely going to come apart if you really extend these arms and legs. So if you're looking for something that does articulate, these are not it. Now, there's a lot of other figures in the market. Like, I think the best articulated figures right now are the Lightning Collection, to be honest, because the Super 7 are so-so. And then the Legacy figures are great, actually. Just like, for instance, like this gold Zero Ranger here, like you can do anything, and there's articulations pretty much anywhere low. You can even do the split, bend your knees, and do the limbo, I guess, or the matrix, right? So leave them down in the comments if you have any other questions. Hopefully I didn't forget anything. I probably did. But just let me know what you guys think. If you're thinking about getting these figures, if you want an alternate figures, I can give you some suggestions. But yeah, this is my review of the Power Squad, aka Mighty Morphin Power Rangers 1995, the movie. And again, I can't believe these figures exist. This is amazing. Now, I'm going to quickly show you guys my 1/6 scale, just so you can see how I have them set up. Here we have my 1/6 scale MMPR movie figures. Here we have also Tommy and Kimberly Ninjetti versions. And word on the streets is that there may not be doing, the company Toys Battalion may not be doing the rest of the Ninjetti. I don't know why. That sucks. I wish they did finish this at least. What I can guess is that there were not a lot of people buying them, so they just stopped making the rest of the team, which sucks. So, but yeah, here we have all the 1/6 scale in the back. Pretty nice. And there I did change Adam's helmet to a helmet that I had on one of those little stand helmets that I do have all of them, and I'll show you guys real quick on my shelf here, these helmets, and they scale very well. Now this black one, this black helmet is the actual Toys Battalion one. I just removed it and used these versions, and it goes really well. I did a minor touch-up paint there, but it looks way better, I think. Now here is the 112/7 inches figure. I'm obviously not gonna put these in these shelves. I just want you to take a quick look at the height. It's obviously massive, but just bear with me. Look at that. It's a beast. But yeah, that's the 1/6 scale shelf, and then we have the Ninjettis there with their corns. Pretty cool. Alright guys, if you did like this video, make sure you give it a like. Also, if you're new to the channel, welcome. Don't forget to subscribe. I do have a few other videos that are coming up pretty much soon. I do have a custom command center and some movie 1995 movie figures. Got some villains coming, so stay tuned, and I'm gonna do a full video on the diorama and just tell you guys how I went about it and all that stuff. So that's super exciting. But yeah, like I said, subscribe, hit the bell icon like that. You guys get notified when I do post a new video. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. This is Ariel Diaz. Peace.
The world is very lucky to have you, and so am I. May the power protect you, always.